Hello, lovelies! Welcome back, and welcome to our latest edition of Show and Tell. This time I thought we would talk about some works in progress instead of just some things which are already finished. What I have here is a collection of little crocheted amigurumi cardinals. You can see my little birdles, they are missing their wings, beaks, and tails still. These are my in progress, and I'm making a whole horde of them, or an entire flock of them, shall we say, that will be installed in our latest winter window. And this is a shot of some of the yarn that I'm using in my little container full of safety eyes. All right, let's see what some of our other lovely friends have been up to. Okay, here we go. All right, so first up we have the Nurtured Sweater, which is currently being knitted up by our friend Samantha K. Sam is using some beautiful yarn that she had milled and dyed at one of our regional mills up in Pennsylvania. The wool that she is using is a Shetland Merino blend, and I believe that the Shetland has come from a fiber farm owned by one of her husband's relatives. So how cool is that? And it looks like she's getting some beautiful stitch definition there. Way to go, Sam. And then our next project to have a look at are some Christmas tree pillow covers being crocheted by our friend Rachel K, who is new to the Baltimore area. Welcome, Rachel. So glad to have you with us. And her crochet is just looking fabulous. I'm excited to see how these pillows come out when she's finished. And next on our list, our friend Debbie S says that she is winging a colorwork hat for her kid that says "Hella Proud" in queer flag colors on a black background. Way to go, Debbie. I think it's going to look fabulous. Your beginnings of your hat look great so far. I love the bright green. I think the bright colors on the black background are going to come out awesome. And of course, we would love to see photos when you're finished. Now we have Morgan, another crochet friend of ours who lives in Georgia. Morgan is working on the Euphoria cardigan and some Dungeons and Dragon dice pieces. We will put links to any patterns named in the show notes or in the description under the video, so you can check out what the patterns look like on Ravelry for those folks who are following a pattern. Not everybody does, but for those that do, we will post pattern links for you below. Next, we have our friend Mary O, who lives in Hamden. Mary has been weaving up some scarves on her loom, and it looks like she's been really busy, and these are just beautiful. We have a couple close-up pics of these. One is like a really lovely pumpkin-y orange, and the other one looks to be like a blue and gray plaid, but the yarn that she's used is so shiny. Oh, and aren't these beautiful? So, Mary, if you are watching and you have some extra time, you can make one for me too. These are just gorgeous. They look fabulous. I don't know how many of you have tried weaving before, but just like the knitting and the crochet, it gets very addictive really fast. And it's interesting, you can make, besides just scarves or placemats, you think about it, like so much of our fabric is woven, so you could weave your own yardage for fabric to make your own clothes. And how awesome would that be? You could have your knitted sweater over a shirt or a dress where you've woven the material yourself, drawn up a pattern, and then sewed the whole thing. So, post-apocalyptic life skills? I think so. But also super fun and very satisfying, and of course, beautifully artistic as well. Next we have, speaking of artists, we have our friend Abby R. Abby too lives in Hamden near the shop, and Abby likes to work with lots of colors. She is a big colorwork fan, and this sweater here is an in-progress photo of a pullover that she's making for her husband, and Abby's been using a mosaic stitch pattern from one of Barbara Walker's stitch treasuries. Barbara Walker, if you don't know, is one of our grandmothers of knitting, shall we say, and she's produced quite a number of knitting stitch treasuries, which is our collections of different knitted stitches using various techniques. And they're wonderful. So if ever you're thinking of doing a sweater similar to the one that Abby has done, these stitch treasuries are a wonderful place to start. Also, she has stitches in there, which are different types of cables, some lace, different kinds of ribbing, you name it. They're just fabulous. And Abby's sweater here is looking beautiful. I love the graphic quality of the black and white and red. And of course, the little scorpions that she's knitting up are fabulous. So excited to see how this comes out when she is finished. And next we have the beginnings of a lace shawl by our friend Rose G out in Wisconsin. This is a shawl that Rose was making to bury with her grandmother who recently passed away. And Rose, we are so sorry for your loss. We think of you all the time. And of course, we miss seeing you in person, even though we do see you on our Zoom meetups. That's correct. We do have Zoom Sip and Stitch and Zoom Sweater Group. One of our Zoom groups meets Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. and the other meets on Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. You are, of course, welcome to join us. If you are interested, you can just send us an email at lovelyyarns@gmail.com and we will reply and send you a link. And Rose's lace shawl is just looking very, very pretty. Now we have our friend Cynthia H.B. Cynthia lives in Baltimore. Well, I guess right outside Baltimore City, in Baltimore County. And it looks like Cindy's making a really pretty garter stitch striped baby blanket. This looks like it is a corner to corner design. And this she's using yarn that she got from our shop. But I love the stripes and I think the colors are great. Good job, Cindy. Keep it up. And of course, post pics when you're finished. Now we have our friend Angela S. And Angela, oh, this is stunning. Look at all those pretty colors and patterns. This looks like the beginnings of the new Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West. And of course, we will post a link for that. And it looks like it is 1, 2, 3, at least 3, maybe 4 different colorways. We'll have to check and see what the pattern says when we are posting links. But this is looking beautiful. Well done, Angela, and keep it up. This looks fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Also fabulous is this beautiful lace project that our friend Erika G has started. This is wonderful. I love all the little nups and the holes from the lace. The nups, by the way, are the things that look like baubles, like the little mini baubles. Is it noops or nups? It's spelled like nups. I think it might be noops. Regardless, this looks fabulous. Erika, this is just stunning. What beautiful lace work. And now we have some bright, colorful piece by our friend Sari H. Sari works with me at the shop on Saturdays. So if ever you give us a call on Saturday, chances are Sari is the one who will answer the phone. Sari is a knitter and a crocheter and also a spinner and a burgeoning quilter. If you have driven by the shop in person lately, you'll notice we have a beautiful pumpkin quilt hanging in the store windows, and that was quilted by our friend Sari here, who is now doing an Entrelac cowl with 2 different colors of yarn from Shirsty Cat. Shirsty Cat is one of our local hand dyers, and she is in Philadelphia. And then it looks like our friend Emily Aubrey has been very busy herself. She says she's just finished some holiday knitting. She's done an alpaca meringue cowl, a trillion scarf, the close to you scarf, which she says she still needs to block and weave in the ends. So it looks like the close to you is on the bottom of the picture. The trillion is in the middle. And then the alpaca meringue cowl is up on the top. And these look great, Emily. keep it up. These look awesome. I love looking at everybody's projects. Oh, and look how pretty the yarn is with those gradients. Well done. Oh, and also she says she is on her eternal work in progress papillon shawl. Now, I've made one of these papillon shawls, and I love always how the colors come out. They do take a while. It's quite a bit of garter stitch and lots of short rows. So if you were not familiar or comfortable with doing short rows before you began a papillon shawl, you definitely will become a short row pro by the end. That is for sure. And then, of course, lastly, we have our friend Karen H, who also happens to be Sari's mom. And it looks like Karen has started to make circles mitt, it's fingerless mittens. And she has completed her cuff, and now she is ready for the increases. This is a really pretty yarn. I think she said it's from oat fibers. We do carry yarns in the store by OPOM, but I think that's a different dyer than the one that Karen has used. But everybody's projects, I think, look fabulous. Thank you, everyone, so much for sharing with us. And those of you who are watching, please, if you would like to be on our next show and tell, send us an email with photos of your latest works in progress. We always love to see what's on everyone's needles or hook or wheel or loom or embroidery hoop, so we can cheer you on and see what beautiful things you're making. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Show and Tell. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, happy stitching!